what's going on within the Democratic Party? We just saw, there was all this excitement that AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was going to be the new head, or at least the number two, the Democratic leader of the House Oversight Committee, one of the most powerful committees in Congress. And it looks like Nancy Pelosi pulled a behind the scenes to insert a 74-year-old guy with throat cancer instead in a position that could be a very high-profile, fighting on behalf of Democrats. Then, just to continue, Richard Neal, 75, is going to lead the Democrats on Ways and Means. Frank Pallone, 73, is the party's top representative on Energy and Commerce. 86-year-old Maxine Waters is the ranking member on Financial Services. And Rose DeLauro, 81, is going to run the Democrats on Appropriations. Connolly this cycle took $118,000 from PACs linked to the defense sector, which he'll be in a position to help out. Ways and Means is the top tax writing committee with jurisdiction over Social Security and Medicare, among other programs. Richie Neal is the top recipient of donations from the insurance industry, having received $412,000 from industry PACs just in the last 12 months. Plus generous six-figure donations from HMOs and pharmaceutical companies. Frank Pallone has gotten over $1 million from electric utilities since joining Congress in 1998. What the hell is going on inside your party?
Yeah, so you're giving a lot, and it's not all connected, and some of it is. So let me try to, in the little time we have, we have seniority as a system, and largely how we do the ranking member or the chairs of committees. I'm sorry?
Why?
It's just a system they've had, and
shouldn't it be a merit-based system? I mean, isn't that the essence of democracy?
Well, and it's also based on experience, which often is the merit in a lot of these. And most of these, like I would argue, there is no one more qualified than Rosa DeLauro to run the Appropriations Committee. So lumping them together actually does a disservice to when I think we need to say, but this Congress, we started to say, just because you've been on the planet longer isn't enough. So we did that with the Agriculture Committee. We did that with Natural Resources and another committee I'm forgetting. I think the issue, and I supported Alex because I think she'd be great, and I think she will be the ranking member and chair someday of that committee. I have no doubt that's going to happen. I think what happened here is Jerry Connolly had cancer just like Jamie Raskin had cancer when he was the ranking member on that committee, and that was used fairly effectively. That other than that, a lot of members, especially some of our identity-based caucuses, support the system of seniority because a lot of their members are currently the ranking members out of that system. So it's not as easy as seeing a wholesale change in that happening. I think what's important, especially for Alex, and like I said, I support her and I want to talk to her about this, is, she's now really in line for that committee. And given she's only been here a few years, rarely has that happened. Republican Party does things different. They term limit chairs. We don't do that. There's a lot of things you could have internal conversations about, but I don't think it was a statement against Alex as much as it was an affirmation that we still are largely seniority based unless there is a pretty serious exception, but that is starting to change.
And in other words, it was a sympathy vote, or it was just, we're recognizing the old seniority system? And
I think it would have been recognizing the hypocrisy that we elected Jamie Raskin when he was ill and was able to do the job still quite well. Right. And then you're saying someone else couldn't do that. And quite honestly, Jerry Connolly is not in some of the committees. We did have people in charge that are probably not able to do things in the same way as Rosa DeLauro, for example, who is brilliant and amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I probably shouldn't have included her in the list because she's the one that I don't have, here's where all her money came from either. And
that's the other issue, Tom, right? That is a point, right? Like the fact that we are addicted to campaign money is affected so much of how everything runs in Washington. And that's part of what, as we have a DNC election, I'd love to see them change, especially in primaries, that outside money coming in. But I think the good news is, and I did talk to Alex just yesterday, I think she's got a great future here. She does amazing work. She's an amazing communicator. This was not as much anti-Alex as it was, how can you say, one person with cancer in charge of the same committee is okay, but not the other person?
Well, what's his name had a very curable cancer. Throat cancer is
Yeah, but now you're asking every individual member, half of which are millionaires and not physicians, to decide which cancer is which.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, I get
Jerry
it. I get it.
honestly
It's a mess.
presents very healthy right now. I just think it's a little more complicated. It certainly is something odd to our system, and the Republicans probably do it a little bit.
Yeah, I totally get it.